Welcome! Today we are diving deep into the secret world of these tiny little creatures that are, well, everywhere, all around us, and even inside us. We're talking about bacteria.
So let's start with a quick question. When you hear that word bacteria, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For a lot of us, it's probably germs, right? The kind your mom always told you to wash off your hands?
And hey, that's a totally common thought, but the real story is so much more complex and honestly way more fascinating. So first things first, let's get properly introduced to our main characters here.
So what are they really? Bacteria are single-celled organisms, and they are so incredibly small you need a super powerful microscope just to get a peek. They're one of the simplest, but also one of the most widespread life forms on our entire planet. Now, one of the coolest things about them is that they come in all sorts of different shapes. For example, check these out. These are rod-shaped bacteria, and they look exactly like tiny little sticks or rods.
But the variety doesn't stop there, not at all. Now look at these, the spiral-shaped bacteria. They look like little corkscrews just wiggling around.
And to round out our little tour, we have the sphere-shaped bacteria. They're like tiny little balls, and you can find them hanging out by themselves or all grouped together in clusters. So cool, right? But what are they actually made of?
That is a great question. Even with all their different shapes, on the inside, their structure is one of the simplest in the entire living world. They've got a cell wall for protection, a membrane, some cytoplasm on the inside, and a region with all their genetic stuff. And get this, some even have a little tail called a flagellum that acts like a propeller to help them swim.
Okay, now for the part that might just surprise you. While we always think of them as nasty germs, a whole lot of these tiny creatures aren't our enemies at all. In fact, you could say they're our secret allies.
Honestly, they play a huge, really beneficial role in our lives. I mean, right this second, you have literally trillions of helpful bacteria inside your body. They're helping you digest your lunch, protecting your skin from invaders, and even training your immune system to be stronger.
And their job extends way beyond our bodies. Out in nature, bacteria are like the planet's essential cleanup crew. They break down all the dead stuff, recycling nutrients back into the soil so new plants can grow. I mean, without them, entire ecosystems would just collapse.
And we've even put them to work in our own kitchens. So many of our favorite foods, like that tangy yogurt, crunchy pickles, and all kinds of cheeses, are only possible because of the hard work of these amazing beneficial bacteria. But of course, it's not all sunshine and yogurt. I mean, for all this talk about secret allies, we absolutely cannot ignore the fact that some bacteria are genuinely harmful, and yeah, they can make us really sick.
That's right. To get the full picture, we have to meet the other side of the family, the pathogenic bacteria. These are the real troublemakers. These are the guys that give all the other bacteria a bad name. Some of them, like the one that causes cholera, can spread through contaminated water and cause some pretty serious diseases.
Other types can be dangerous if they find their way into a simple cut or a wound. If they get in there, they can multiply and cause a really nasty infection.
And then there are others that can attack our respiratory system, causing diseases like tuberculosis. You know, that's actually pretty scary. So what can we possibly do to protect ourselves from these troublemakers?
Now that is an excellent question. And luckily, becoming a hero in the fight against harmful bacteria is probably easier than you think. Let's dig into the secrets of how to keep ourselves safe.
First off, you gotta understand that they really are everywhere. This experiment is such a perfect way to see it. By just pressing your unwashed hand onto a nutrient plate, you can actually grow and see the colonies of bacteria that were living there invisibly just a couple of days before. It's wild.
So, what's in our hero toolkit? Well, the key is just good hygiene. These simple habits are basically our superpowers. You know, washing your hands with soap and water, keeping your space clean, eating well-cooked food, and storing it right. Those are the best ways to stop harmful bacteria right in their tracks.
All right, time for a little fun quiz. Let's see what you've learned. What do we call those sphere-shaped bacteria? If you remember from earlier, the answer is B, coccocosi. If you got that, you are on a roll.
Okay, next question. Which of these foods is made using our helpful little bacterial friends? You got it. It has to be B, yogurt. I guess they really aren't all bad after all.
So, as we've seen, bacteria aren't just purely friends or purely foes. It's really all about finding a healthy balance by understanding both sides of them. So now it's your turn to think.
What's one thing you'll do today to help out the good bacteria and protect yourself from the bad ones? Thanks for exploring this tiny, invisible world with us.